Hey, you guys in capes,
And rogues who are sneaky
join Chris and Rodger as we...
attempt to entertain the geeky.
Guys, what's going on?
What's up, Chris?
Rodger, how are you?
Man, I got a Red Bull today.
Yeah?
I got the big guy here.
Heck yeah.
I mean, and I'm kind of jittery.
I'm on my second monster right now, and I'm definitely jittery.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Good.
It's
good.
cold as fuck outside.
It's not that it's super frigid out there. It's that 40-degree weather is the nasty weather. It's true.
So here's the thing. I'm colder at 40 to 50 degrees than I am at like 10 degrees.
Absolutely.
Because normally when you're at that 10 degree mark, it has been cold for a couple of days and you've gotten used to it. But when we hit that 40 degree mark, it's normally warmer but a couple of days before.
That's the chill you to the bone cold.
Yeah, it's bad. It's stupid.
And it generally rains with that kind of weather.
Just a little bit.
And that's what sucks, because that being wet and cold is disgusting.
And they're talking about the possibility of snow today.
Yep. It was flurrying on my way here.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, you live in DeSoto, so.
Well, it was like most of the way here. It was flurrying.
I don't want snow. I hate snow.
I like snow. It was just flurries, though. It was nothing serious. So, yeah. There's that. What's the weather like where you guys are at? California, you guys give us a lot of love. I'm sure the weather's beautiful there.
You noticed that too?
Yeah,
I was looking last night and I was like, California loves the fuck out of us.
Europe does too, though.
Yeah, but I don't care about Europe.
I do.
I mean, you do.
But we get a majority of our downloads in California, which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know anybody in California.
I know.
You don't know anybody either.
I know a couple of people there.
Do you?
Yeah, not a lot.
You know, like one guy.
I know.
That's not true. I know a guy. I know a couple of guys.
I know like 3 or 4
California.
people in California.
Yeah, I know like 2 or 3. I don't know if I might know 4. I don't know if they both moved down there or not.
I don't know. California's supposed to be beautiful, though.
Is it?
I've never been.
You know a movie that we haven't talked about that's getting ready to come out soon?
Black Panther?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say I don't know how to feel about this movie.
So I actually was reading something this morning that said the villain in it, Michael B. Jordan's character, is one of the best movies, or one of the best villains that Marvel has done.
Is it better than that fucking computer guy from Civil War or whatever?
I mean, that was a joke, but
Yeah.
this is legit like an actual villain.
Well, like honestly, Marvel doesn't really do in their movies, other than Spider-Man, they don't really do actual villains. Like, think about it. The Avengers, who'd they fight? Like, there was Loki, but Loki wasn't like the guy they fought.
Well, and Loki is such a teeter-totter character.
Yeah.
He's still in the middle that I wouldn't necessarily classify him as a villain. He's a chaotic neutral character.
Red Skull.
Red Skull was an actual villain. They did fight him. Whoever the Dark Elf is in Thor.
I finally saw Thor Ragnarok.
It's a good movie.
It's pretty good.
So yeah, there's the Dark Elf in the Thor movie.
But yeah, like, thinking about it, like Batman movies, it's always like Batman squares off against a villain.
Yep.
Like, boom, there's one guy, the villain. Marvel movies just kind of tell stories.
It's a little less black and white in the Marvel movies, I feel. Now, that being said, we've had one villain orchestrating a whole lot for a very long time.
Who's that?
Thanos.
Thanos hasn't really orchestrated a damn thing. He's kind of been like sitting in a chair going,
You got my Chitauri.
Yep.
Because that happened.
That wasn't his alien force.
I think they belong to Thanos in somehow, some way.
That wasn't Thanos invading Earth. It was
Thanos giving them to Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ultimately, it was Thanos wanting to get his hand in the cookie jar.
He just wants to court death.
Yeah. But he was putting his hand in the cookie jar here, and now we're actually going to see that Thanos fight.
Do you think that Infinite War or Avengers 4, whatever the fuck, is
Infinity War?
Yeah, whatever, is going to have Deadpool just swoop in and save the day by stealing death away from Thanos?
No, because the deal's not officially happened yet. I actually read an interview with Kevin Feige or Fig, or however you say his name.
Kevin, I created the MCU, so
yeah.
I rock.
And basically he was saying, look, he's like, we're not even concerned with what's going to happen with the Fox properties yet because the dotted line's not been signed. The deal's not finalized.
Except they're already talking about putting X-Men and Fantastic Four in Phase 4.
They want them in there, and that's one of the things, like, they have to be mindful of that, okay? But he's like, look, through 2019, he's like, it doesn't matter because we have everything booked up through then.
But they're already doing reshoots on the X-Men properties to make it fit in the Marvel Universe.
Make it fit better.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not set in stone yet, and that's probably one of the clauses that's built into the deal. Like, hey, you got to let us take care of reshoots so that we can make things work. But he's like, I'm not super worried about these characters and these properties yet because they're not mine yet.
They're not mine. I don't own them.
But that's a fair point though, because
I don't own them.
let's say something happens, Fox pulls out because they're like, we don't need this.
No, Fox does need this.
They do, and I'm not denying that. But if for some reason they decide that they don't need it or want it, it would be foolish for Marvel to have all these plans for these properties and invest a bunch of time and resources into it when it could potentially fall through. They got the Wonder Boy back in Spider-Man, so I think in working with that and working with the properties that they already have, they've got a full plate. And they definitely do through 2019 because we know all the movies that are coming out.
Yeah, is Spider-Man still Marvel's biggest selling comic book? Like I don't mean of all time. I mean monthly. Is Spider-Man still?
Probably you should Google that.
That's what I was gonna do.
But yeah, I mean the property's always historically done well for them. And then when you talk
not
about
always, it was close to being canceled.
When you talk about all the all the stuff that comes along with Spider-Man, all the different Spider-Men and women, yeah, I think they do very well.
I'm looking it up now.
He's Googling.
Keep going.
Well, now I'm just kind of watching this because I'm interested to see who the best-selling Marvel property is.
It's gonna be a minute. I gotta go through some shit.
I would just Google what's the best Marvel comic book, best-selling Marvel comic book.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there. But yeah, because X-Men has phases where it does really well and then it does nothing. I think it depends on who's writing. I think the Avengers series typically sell well, depending on which Avengers
DC takes over a declining market. Which comics sold best in 2017? Looking for the list. Marvel Legacy #1, Dark Knight Metal, Doomsday Clock, Peter Parker.
Yep, Spectacular Spider-Man.
Batman, The Flash, Metal #2, Secret Empire. Huh.
So DC's got a nice foothold in there.
DC's doing it apparently.
One of the things that they did that I think Marvel's trying to get back to is all of DC stuff is canon.
It depends on I guess.
No, it is.
Because,
we have the pizza analogy with Marvel that's still enacted.
Yeah, but DC's done the New 52, then going back, and
they had to go back.
Metal things are getting all fuckered up.
They're just saying once again that, hey, everything's canon, Dark Knight's Metal. Look at what we can do, everybody.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on this.
Yeah, no, I think it's time to stop scrolling through that.
I'm just amazed that I don't know what Marvel Legacy is.
I don't know. I think, isn't that their legacy?
Is that them
legacy numbering on their comics?
Is it, or is it them going back to? Is that the one where they're actually going back to? The pizza being two separate pizzas.
And it could very well be that too.
I'm looking it up right now.
What is Marvel Legacy? No, I've had this dreaded fascination recently with leather-bound books. I want a full library of leather-bound books. And I was looking at the Harry Potter sets, and to get that in all leather-bound, because there's not a lot of big companies that make that, so you're generally buying it from an individual who does a custom order. It's like $600 to get a full set of the Harry Potter books.
I would just buy the Harry Potter books and be happy. I don't need leather-bound.
I want them in leather. I just want a full leather-bound library.
So it is. Marvel Legacy looks like it is the return to the original, what is it?
Numbering.
Well, it's Earth 616.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to. Because here we go. It begins at the dawn of the human race and ends with the child's prayer. In between, empires fall, mysteries brew, secrets are revealed. Quests are undertaken and legends are forged. All leading up to the dramatic return you've been waiting for. And one you've been dreading. Bum, bum, bum. This just came out in September.
Yeah. Well, Jason was talking about that because he had talked about that on Nerd News.
Yeah. I'm just saying, that's what Marvel Legacy is.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It is very interesting, to say the least.
So yeah, it looks like Marvel's going back to everything being the way it should be.
I think that's a smart business decision.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, you're now taking, because we've been forming the past decade. You've been forming the Marvel Comics series to be more like the MCU.
Well, at first that wasn't the case. That it was 2012 that really started to happen with the success of the Avengers movie. That's when it really started to take shape, and they were basically integrating the MCU into comic form, and that was stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think it was
a great idea.
As a reader, it was so stupid.
As a reader for you who's been a fan of Marvel for so long, but as a guy that's like, hey, I like the Avengers movie, let me go see what these comics are about. Oh, look, they actually match what I saw on the screen, as opposed to, hey, why is Nick Fury white?
Hey, this is a molestation of what's been done over the past 50, 60 years.
You can't bitch about the movies being different and
I don't bitch about that.
I do.
I'm totally cool with it. It's its own thing.
Now
I enjoy that. It has been.
No. I mean, now it's its own thing because the comics are no longer trying to follow suit.
I think it was a decision that bit them in the ass because it's not new readers that support the hobby. It's existing readers. New readers can come on and they can pick up, and when there are good stories, a new reader can come in and be like, oh, wow, this is awesome. When you're just trying to match the shit that's on screen, I don't think that's the case. My
thought is this: Marvel makes money. They're owned by the mouse. It doesn't matter. What matters is DC is kicking their ass. Apparently, that's what's interesting.
That is interesting because their movies are not doing well.
Not good at all.
I mean, the movies are doing well, I guess, but yeah, they're not that great.
They're not like Avengers money.
Oh,
they're
man.
not Oprah money rich. Okay.
So David Harbour did an interview recently and was talking about how he can like Christian Bale's Batman or Val Kilmer's Batman. I'm misquoting him there.
Hold on. I have to think of an interpretation.
Or no, it was Michael Keaton's Batman.
Oh, Mr. Mom Batman.
So it was Michael Keaton's Batman or Christian Bale's Batman. He's like, I can like Heath Ledger's Joker and Jack Nicholson's Joker. He's like, and I don't have to like the other Jokers. And it was like a direct dig
at
Jared Leto. And I'm like,
you were like, fuck you, David.
Well, I'm like reading this and I'm like, wow, that probably, because he was in Suicide Squad, you know, he had a pretty minimum role in it, but he was in it, and I'm just like, you're kind of shitting where you eat a little bit, bro.
No, because you can be part of a thing and not care for an actor's performance in said thing.
I don't think it was the actor's performance. I think it was. Remember how we've talked about studio interference? Like we've beat that into the ground.
Except, hold on. Like you said, David Hayter was part of Suicide Squad, so he might have seen some things that we didn't see. And maybe at the end of the day, he was like, you know what? It's like any other fucking job you go to. You just because you like your job and you like your manager doesn't mean you like all of your coworkers.
That's fair.
And you don't like the job that they do, and you're like, fuck that guy. This guy they had before him was better.
Yeah, I guess there is a little bit of artistic integrity that was compromised.
I guess it's because
with studio interference.
I guess it's because you just love Jared Leto.
I liked the Joker performance that we saw. It was in there an awkward amount, and I've said that several times. It's not the best movie.
Right, but I'm not talking about the movie. I'm not saying the movie's good. I'm saying you like Jared Leto.
I liked his performance.
You have stepped up and said that you think Jared Leto is one of the best Jokers ever done.
I do believe that.
And anyone that disagrees with you and says, I don't know, Heath Ledger or Romeo Caesar or Jack Nicholson was a better Joker, and you're like, no, fuck you.
That's not technically been the case.
Really?
Yes.
Because Heath Ledger's Joker was better than Jared Leto's
Heath
Joker.
Ledger's Joker was different.
Jack Nicholson's Joker was better than
it was different.
Mark Hamill's Joker.
Here's the thing. We've gotten different iterations of the Joker. Yes. And I'm okay with that. But I've mentioned this scene several times on the show. The scene where Jared Leto makes, I forget the lackey's name, kiss his ring, and then sits in the guy's lap, and he's like, I could tell you meant it. That was so the Joker, and it was so invasive and stuff. Like, I loved it. And I was completely sold on the character at that point. Like, I wanted it to be good, and, like, that's what kind of really sold me on his portrayal of the Joker.
Yeah. Well, truth be told, guys, I'm gonna bust Chris's fucking bubble here. He was sold on the Joker the minute he found out Jared Leto was playing the Joker.
I was excited about it the whole time.
You were jumping up and down like Tom Cruise on Oprah's fucking couch.
I was stoked about it, and I was stoked about the fact that he method acts and like that he was getting so into the character. Absolutely.
And now we're getting Leonardo DiCaprio
on a Joker solo, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's been completely green lighted.
It'll happen.
We'll see. Because technically, Jared Leto's still The Joker in the DCEU.
Yeah, but the Joker's solo movie doesn't need to take place in the DCU.
No, it doesn't. And that's one of the things that we've talked about on the show as well.
And in fact, I'd prefer that it didn't. I'm going to be honest with you. I prefer that they just told solo movies. And if DC takes that approach, much like they're doing with their animated movies, I'd be so happy.
It would be really interesting.
Because you could still have your DCU going.
Yeah.
But hey, guess what? Here's
a fun flick.
Here's a fun flick.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Like, at first I was really sketchy on the idea because we have all of these shared universes. But now I'm just like, oh, a good movie would be fun to see.
Thank you. Thank you for joining my cause. So Marvel, stop with the shared universe.
No.
DC, stop with the shared universe.
Marvel can have its shared universe and it can be good. But they shouldn't let that deter them from doing movies outside of that.
But they are.
Correct. But you can go watch Ant-Man and be totally happy, and it doesn't necessarily detract from anything that you might watch in the MCU.
But Ant-Man and the Wasp looks good.
It looks fucking awesome.
It looks really like the scene where in the trailer where he shrinks the building and just whoop
picks it up.
And,
I love the scene where the Wasp runs across the blade of knives.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. The blades of knives, rather.
Who is she? I can't. I can never think of her name.
It looks good, man. It looks fun. I thought the first Ant-Man movie, though, was a breath of fresh air.
Courtney loved the first Ant-Man movie.
It was a good flick. It was a lot of fun. Did I loan you that one, or did you?
No, it was on cable.
Oh, okay.
It was on the cable.
Yeah, because that was a good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah. Even Evangeline Lilly. That's her name. I don't know what else she's been in besides Ant-Man and the Wasp. She was in The Hobbit, Real Steel. Oh, she was in The Hurt Locker.
The Hurt Locker.
That's a good movie.
Little Evil.
Yeah.
Real Steel's a cool flick, too.
Real Steel is a cool flick. It's Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
It is.
The Long Week.
With
She
Hugh
really
Jackman.
hasn't been in a lot.
Oh, dude. So, there's this new movie, the new Crocodile Dundee movie.
It's not a movie.
What is it?
It's a fucking advertisement for tourism down in Australia.
I thought it was a movie.
No.
Because there's a date.
No.
Google it.
No. Like, it's a joke.
I just watched the trailer.
Yeah. Remember when we talked about this on one of those phone calls, and you were all like, that's stupid. And I was like, but yeah, it's not the real thing. It is an advertising to get tourism excited, to get people tourism to going to Australia.
Okay.
Because Danny McBride and Hemsworth are part of the Australian